Morning. What's combine corn? We're getting corn knocked out. And we also got 3 inches of rain, so it's muddy. Woo! It is muddy. You happy, Bob?
Happy.
Happy, happy, happy.
Gonna be alright.
Definitely a change in scenery from what it's been a whole harvest. After 3 inches of rain, we have mud. Woo, woo. 3 inches of rain is all it took.
Slippery.
That's quite a bit of rain. That's a lot of rain. But we got about 100, probably 100 acres worth of corn left.
And we had to back up all the way down that road.
Yeah, we have, Dad's been backing all the way down the road, that gravel road right there, because we can't really turn around the fields whenever it's
Muddy.
this muddy. It's not too bad this morning, but it's also, no suns came out yet, so this is still a little hard. It's not the softest in the world. But, yeah. Plus, the grain carts went down this path quite a few times. And we're also not loading the cart very much because, say the 300 doesn't like the mud that much and digs in pretty deep when she's got a good load on her. So.
Has totally has tons of horsepower.
Lots of power.
Yeah, 300.
Yeah,
Wow.
more like 240.
Yay!
I think that's my favorite part about every brand. You know, they put the TA 300 or they put their TR 300 on the side, and then it's not actually 300 horsepower. It's about 50 less than whatever it says on the side. No good.
Oh, good.
No power. But yeah, Jared's over there combining.
With the green combine.
With the green combine.
Yeah.
The superior green combine.
The superior combine.
Oh.
Wow, man, you break everything.
It's a little rough here.
Yeah, you break everything.
It just isn't.
There goes the hitch. Oh, a tire just popped off.
Don't
Wow.
believe him. Just don't believe him.
Wow.
Just don't. No. We're getting her done. We're on the opposite side of the road now. Not all the way in the back on that other side. So, we're up by the little gravel road. And hopefully, I can get a little bit of room so he can dump on me. We'll see what his plans are. Is he going to turn towards me? I don't know what we're going to do here. Well, it's my turn to combine and it's sprinkling on the windshield. Isn't that lovely? As you can tell, it is muddy out here. This is normally what it looks like during harvest, honestly. Normally it's a little bit on the wet side when we come in and combine, but yeah. As you can see, the rain clouds are coming in. Let's get after it again. I have combined a little bit without picking up the camera, so I'm sorry. But that reflector on the right side has been no good this whole year, so I think it'll be fine for a few more acres. Let the head speed up. Let's get to rocking and rolling. Well, the rain finally caught us. It's wet. So we're filling up the combine and heading home. Not much more we can do. Well, good morning, guys. It's the next day. Sorry I didn't get that much footage of combining yesterday. But let's just say we're not going to be in the fields today. And I got something I want to show you, especially for some of you guys that haven't seen terraces, or at least haven't got really close up and don't have a very good understanding of what they look like and what they do. Since we got tons of rain, it's not bad out today. I'm actually in a t-shirt at the moment. I'll show you kind of what our terraces do. So we've probably got about 3 inches of rain in total. You can see there's water out here. Here's a terrace. See, there's a little hill. Terrace kind of collects all the water in it, and then there's a tile, and that's the riser right there, that little orange thing. It's supposed to have a white post up on top of it. I think I think the sprayer man might have whacked that white part. It's the only sprayer man we got is Dad, so blame that on him. It is absolutely sloppy out here, and that is, and if you can hear it nice and closely, I'm not gonna go any farther because I don't have my boots on. The water's draining into this terrace. So I think with this terrace, I don't know if there's another riser right there or not. I'm pretty sure this terrace drains towards that pond. There's a tile that goes that way, and those two back there, they drain towards the trees. And then there's 2 that go that way down into that little waterway over there. Yeah. So the terrace, it is slightly sloped towards the riser. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of pooling of water, but whenever there's a lot of water, you can see it right there. It's running towards the terrace. So yeah, it is an absolute sloppy mess out here. And I am wearing my Lightning McQueen Crocs. Go back a few videos, I welded in these Crocs. Not the smartest decision in the world. But yeah. There's a few beans from, this is where the fence was. There's a few beans. I wouldn't blame the fence on those beans that are on the ground. I'd blame the beans probably started shattering. But yeah, so there's a riser here, and it drains down. When there's a lot of water, it starts pooling up in the risers, and those risers over there are the worst because they're government risers, and they have a little plug in them, and those terraces are built so steep that it holds a lot of water. I'm not a big fan of those. That's not what a terrace is supposed to do. Because they put a little plastic piece inside the tile to make it where like it's a 2-inch inlet. And then a corn cob, here I'll show you. A corn cob goes into those inlets, and then it pools water in that whole terrace channel. And if you don't get out there and unplug it, all your crops in that terrace channel are going to be dead in the next few days. So, and this isn't a very big farm, and you can already see there's a lot of risers out here. There's one right there. There's one on the other side too. There's tons of them. And this is a, I don't know, 40-acre piece here. I mean, that scattered across tons of farms. There's going to be risers you're not going to be able to spot if they're plugged. Yeah, it's an absolutely horrible design. And these terraces that the government wants you to build also are not really even farmable. These over here aren't bad. These have been here for quite some time, and these aren't government terraces. That one back there, it's hard to even get a combine on. So when I say government terrace, I mean that the government comes up with a design and you have to follow those rules on building a terrace. And you might be like, well, why would you follow those rules? The reason why is you can get a certain percentage of your terraces paid for for following their direct orders on how to build the terrace. And you can't really do certain things to those terraces within a certain time period because the government wanted you to build the terrace their way. Now, you might be like, well, Landon, why don't you guys just build the terrace however you want? You guys got the dozers. That's what we do on our main farm. Now, when we go outside of our main farm and we go to some landowner to build terraces, most of the time, it's cheaper for them to go with the government terrace because the government's going to pay for a certain percentage of that terrace. And, which is cool. The government's willing to do that. But most of these terraces and their designs, they don't really go with the land in the right directions. And they're not really designed for our equipment. They're way too steep. They're hardly farmable. And it kind of ruins some farm ground, especially in this area. These really steep terraces are hard to get combines on and hard to get planters on. And the amount of dirt that it takes to build a terrace that big, you pretty much scrape it down to clay. And when you scrape it down to clay, it's not even worth farming clay. So there's are kind of some of the terraces. They're kind of junk back there. This one right here is really the one that's really bad. They're just hard to farm. And on top of the terrace, so this top part and the back side, you'll average your normal bushels per acre. But right there in the slope, kind of where you see the water, most of that's probably clay, and it's not even worth farming. You might get 10 bushels to the acre. These beans will be so small, it's not even, most of them won't even go into the head. Back side of the terrace will do good, of course. Top will do pretty good. But that front cut, where all that dirt had to come from, it's just too much dirt. It's too big of a hole you're digging into the ground, and you're getting rid of all your topsoil to build these terraces. It needs terraces, but they don't need to be that tall and that straight up and down. That is straight up and straight down. That backside of the terrace, your whole combine's gonna be cockeyed. It's painful, and it's hard to even get a planter on it or even a tractor. Especially whenever they're brand new terraces and they're softer and soft. That's where the real fun is. Because it's just a big pile of topsoil. Yeah, it's too tall. They're junk. But yeah. So that right there in that little divot, not worth farming. So whenever you get a little tiny field and they're throwing tons of these terraces really close together, and every little divot in front of them is not giving you any bushels to the acre, it's not worth farming. And a big shout out to all our shout out crew members for them supporting this channel. If you want to support this channel and become a member, check it out in the link in the description below.